just told him the story the other day.
Yeah, it's exactly actually what we wanted to get into. So you were a Marine, and then you got out in what year?
2012.
Okay, so it's from 2012. You came home and you were like, I want to do what?
Well, it's funny. There's when you get out of the Marine Corps, you go through this thing called SEPs and TAPS, it's Separations and Transitional Assistance Program.
Mm-hmm.
They teach you how to be a civilian or how to work around civilians.
Be a normal human.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And I told everyone, I was like, they go around like the last day, like, oh, what do you want to do? And I was like, I wanted to go to fucking LA and be an actor. And the guy's like, oh, yeah, that's never gonna fucking happen. Some random dude in the back, which is probably fucking working at Payless right now. And and I was like, well, I've been acting the last 6 years of my life, so I mean, I'm sure I can do it now.
Yeah.
And literally, I fucking got out of the Marine Corps, went home to Florida, and I went to school. I was like, I'm gonna utilize my GI Bill, and because I don't want to work for anybody ever again. I was like, I'm gonna be my own boss. I've already done this whole entire song and dance.
Yeah.
And so I went to the Art Institute of Jacksonville, Florida, and I was there for a month for filmmaking, and that place was garbage. And I was like, if I'm not gonna get wet unless I jump in the water, so to speak. So I was like, I'm going to where they do this shit. And packed up my car. Me and my lady packed up our car. Got rid of the place, and we literally drove to LA, and that was it. And so came out here and went to the Los Angeles Film School.
Ooh.
Shout out.
Yes, shout out to the homies. That's rad. But was there anything that was the inspiration for you to do that, or was it just like was there anything in your life happening that you're like, oh, I need to do this now?
Well, I mean, not there's nothing too detrimental about it. It's like, I sat down. I was like, what do I want to do? I mean, I was like, am I going to go do security somewhere? Am I going to be a cop? Am I going to be a firefighter? Those are usually the transition things veterans get into, or TSA, some shit like that. And then, I was like, when movies, since the dawn of cinema, they're made to take you out of your current situation and put you in a better place. To put your mind in, whatever shit you're going through in life, you go sit there for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and you're someplace else to transport you somewhere else. And, when you're in the military and you're in Afghanistan, Iraq, whatnot, and all you do is get your mind off of what's going on and what's in your head to clear your head. Is you watch movies, listen to music, or, you run out the Jack Shack for an hour. Either way, it's like, which usually all three happen at the same time usually, so movies is a good, it was a great way to get your psyche back on track and to take you away from that. And having, you talk to any veteran, they all have more stories than the Bible. And, it's like, okay, these helped me. And now, growing up with movies, obviously, Jurassic Park, so, and...
Shouts out to Jurassic Park.
Shouts out. Thanks a lot, Spielberg. And, it's like...
Shout out.
Be listening.
So it's like, I came out and I was like, I don't want to be my own boss. I want to do something fun. I want to do something, different. And I was like, I have stories to tell, and that's what I decided to do. So
that's nice, man.
That's awesome. So, or about a time. We're at a time where we can talk about. What do you? So your new thing that's coming up that is in the process. You're gonna make this year.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
From the conversation yesterday, but so tell us a little about what you're working on right now.
Well, the film.
What you can tell us.
Yeah.
So
I have a couple things in the work right now. There's a screenplay I finished about back last October, and I wrote literally I was at my desk for a year writing this thing, and it's a horror film, my favorite genre, and it's pretty much like it's a new look on a vampire story, and or Dampire, excuse me, and not like Twilight. It's more like Interview the Vampire or Nosferatu, stuff like that. So it's just a horror film like that, mashed up with Rosemary's Baby. So if you like babies, don't watch it. Everyone loves babies. So, but
babies.
you know what I mean. So
shout out the babies.
Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty fucked up. More of a psychological thriller, more based on horror, but
So it's gonna make you think.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a character-driven story. So yeah, man, that's pretty much.
Yeah, and you're pumped about it. It's gonna be. You're trying to get it made this year.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to start working on it actually at the end of next month, and
gonna be
going out
cracking
to
at it.
Florida and Georgia.
Oh shit! Going back to the homeland.
Is that the kind of the genre that you like to write? The
I do.
suspense?
horror, thriller, suspense, things like that. I mean, I love chick flicks. Don't get me wrong. You know, I love them.
Yeah.
You know,
that romance.
I was about to give a shout out to one, but I can't even pick one. They're so awesome. You know, I actually just saw Sisters. It was dope. But
shout out to him.
Yeah, hey, Tina Fey glasses, looking kind of yeah. So yeah, horror is definitely my favorite genre. It's really fun. You know, you get especially psychological thrillers. You get to dig into your brain and like fuck up some people, including yourself, which is kind of sketchy right at night. You know. And I always have this like sketchy ass dark music on when I'm writing at night, and
nice.
So it's like, okay, you hear something and it's just your water cooler, but you freak the fuck out, you know. And it's like, oh, what, you know, it's behind me kind of thing. But horror is like writing that is, you know, I love comedies, I love all genres pretty much, but not everyone laughs at the same thing. Not everyone finds the same joke funny, but everyone is drawn in by blood, jumps, and scares. Everyone's afraid of the same shit pretty much. And growing up, every kid's afraid of the dark. That's what it is. And so if that's not enough, then I mean, when out here in LA, there's traffic everywhere. But when there's traffic in a normal town, usually because of a car accident, and people always drive by really slow because they don't want to see if the person's okay. They don't want to see the blood in the dead body.
Yeah, they want the rubberneck.
That's exactly what they want to see. So no matter what you say or what you think, it's in you somewhere that you love that shit. So that's why, and it also has the best ROI for investors. So. But that's the last key. But yeah.
You're pumped about it. I mean, you can't talk about who it is, but you have some name people.
Got some names in there.
Got some names. I mean, don't say anything. You don't want to spoil it for anybody.
We just lost one the other day. Kind of bummed about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean.
I was there. You had to bring it to the AD last
yesterday.
He was pretty out. Yeah. Oh man, I was like, I just watched this dude's like excitement fade. And I was like, you know me walking to a room, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna fucking sit down. I'm gonna see the vibe of this room real quick. And Cody's breaking this news to this dude right when I walk in. And I'm like,
it's like telling him about. He walks into a fucking soap opera. It was great.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, I had my fancy shoes on too. I like walked in and I'm like, fuck, this dude just got real bummed out. And you don't want me to get bummed out because I'm bummed the whole room out.
Yeah.
So, but it was pretty rad. Like
you're talking about you bumming the whole room.
Yeah,
you do that.
I know.
Pat has this like crazy vibe.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know why, but it just ruins a whole room. If you in a room with him when he's bummed out,
I'll ruin the whole fucking vibe, the whole thing. Hey, you want a room to be bummed out on purpose? Just invite me.
Just invite him. Tell him no beer involved.
Yeah. Tell me I can't have no drinks, but there's drinks for everybody else. I'm gonna be bummed out as fuck. Or you just hire me and then fire me same day. I'm gonna be bummed out. So go ahead and do that, and then I'll ruin your party. Fuck
dude. So speaking of horror films, there's been a lot of really good quality horror films that have come out recently.
We were talking about it yesterday. So give us a few of yours.
Babadook.
Yeah.
There's one. It hasn't come out yet, but it was on the same run, festival run with them and Sundance and all that stuff. Called was it Witch?
Witch. Yeah.
I can't wait to see that.
Is this just a rerun of
yesterday?
Like literally, we watched we were sitting in his place and we were watching trailers for everything you said so far. So keep going. See if you can hit a 3D.
Have you seen Babadook?
Of course.
Yeah. Fucking. Oh.
Yeah.
I've seen it like 3 times. I don't know why. So
you really love that.
I love it. I love the movie. I don't know. What are some films?
We talked about Witch. Witch looks creepy as fuck. We talked about our love for the Scream movies yesterday.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Scream, that hot flagger.
Well, yeah. So what's the favorite genre? Since you're writing a psychological thriller, do you like your horror movies to be jump scary? Do you like them to be fuck your mind scary?
No, I don't want to say I hate jump scares, but they're
cheap.
They're cheap. You know, It's like buying a $5 hooker. You know what I mean? It's like you know what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? And it's
just that toothless BJ.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Just like that too.
That sound though.
It's gonna be that. That's all you're gonna get.
But no, I like the build up. I like to a scare. Especially, shout out to my dude James Wan. The way he directs, like Insidious or The Conjuring, it's like he'll build all this tension up with, like the cliche thing, like a chick opens the refrigerator at night, and then she shuts the door, and you expect something to be behind her, or behind the door. So it's like ooh, or that mirror, whole entire mirror bullshit. So he'll build the tension up with the same shot, the same scene. He'll build it up, and then he'll he'll shut it, and the score will peak at this right time. Everything will be perfect, but no one's there, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. So you're safe.
You're safe.
You're safe, and you turn around, then it's there. Yeah. It's like
the way dude moves the camera. Yeah, I swear, James Wan.
Yeah.
Woo! I swear to God, most terrifying movie I've ever seen in a theater.
What?
Conjuring.
Conjuring?
In a theater though. Like I've watched it at the house. It's like it's scary. It still holds up, but it's. Whew.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I like that. I like those. The ones that fuck with your mind. There's one I recently watched fully all the way through for the first time, The Exorcist. Ooh. And like
lots of people don't watch it full through too. Like a lot of people say, "Oh, I've seen The Exorcist."
The thing is,
no, you haven't.
Everyone feels like they've seen it because it's such a pop culture
thing.
It's an icon. It's an iconic film.
Yeah.
And like I always thought that I'd seen it, and I watched all the way through, and it fucked me up.
Yeah.
I was like, I feel like a
good.
You
bummed out.
Because I watched it. You know, right before I went to bed, I'm just thinking about it. Like, thinking about it, like, fuck this.
That's something you're watching right when you wake up.
Someone just said on Periscope that you're real nice.
Oh, thanks.
They're gone now, though.
Okay. Bye. Appreciate you.
Anyway, I do want to go back real quick. I know we got a few minutes left on this topic. I want to go back to something in the military topic where I didn't get to ask you. Which was your most top secret story that you could tell us? Because you told me earlier that your classification
used to be
it's quite high.
Was what would you?
My first job or my first duty station in the Marine Corps was at HMX Presidential Security, and so you are granted you get a clearance. It's called a TS Yankee White, which is top secret Yankee White, which is this. Same clearance as the dude that carries around the nuclear football with the nuclear launch codes, his same clearance. So you pretty much got access, or you can have access to everything pretty much.
Mm-hmm. So, do what you want badge.
It pretty much is like, but I mean, obviously,
to a degree.
It's not like we get to jump into a secret computer made of gold and shit. Like James Bond is like in everything.
You don't get James Bond shit? You didn't get James Bond
No
watch?
Bond shit, no.
No watch? No
watch.
No Aston?
Nope. Nothing.
What? No Miss Aston?
No.
You get a bug Aston?
We got hand-me-downs.
Slightly used. You get a Fiat with missiles?
No.
No?
I didn't get either of those.
No?
No missiles.
No. It was really actually depressing.
No.
So,
Aston?
So what would be like the main thing that, like what's the first thing that comes to your head when you think of top secret things that you were privy you were
it isn't the most top secret thing, but I think it's interesting.
Okay. That works.
Okay. Every big city, we have the 5 here,
Yeah.
The 101 and all that bullshit. Well,
highways.
Yeah, in like big city, I don't know what road it is here. Maybe it's a 405. Yeah, highway that pretty much wraps around the whole entire city.
Yeah.
They're all built to pretty much the same specifications as in distance-wise to the center of the city.
Yeah. For
a specific reason. If there is a nuke threat or a bomb threat, you get outside that highway zone, you're in the clear for a blast radius. Like DC or Jacksonville 295, DC, they have a million fucking highways there. But they're all, if you go on Google Maps right now, you look at them, there's cylindrical highways over every big city. Mm-hmm. So if a bomb hits that, in that, God willing, hits that center, if you get out of that, that median area, of that road area, then you are clear from the blast and most radiation. So that was what I found really interesting.
Yeah. So stay clear of highways.
Pretty much. You don't.
Rad that there's a highway 2 streets away.
Yeah.
Awesome.
No, I mean, if there's ever any kind of thing like that,
it's gonna hit dead center LA.
Yeah, they're usually pretty accurate. And so to get outside that highway area, awesome. And then you were pretty much clear of a blast. Whew. So it's pretty cool. I thought that was interesting.
That's pretty interesting. There isn't there another thing too? Like every so many miles on the highway, there has to be like a certain straight path for something to land.
That's for any kind of plane that a plane in distress or what have you like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's
cool. I always thought that was pretty cool. Like where you run into you're like driving through windy shit and then all of a sudden it's like just a straight highway and you're like, what the fuck? Like I was just cruising up this fucking mountain and then there's like boom, there's a straight path. I'm like, what is this shit for?
Yeah.
I don't need to go through this. I want scenic view.
Yeah.
Have you ever used any of these stories that you've heard as inspiration for writing?
Almost every time I write something, for all the characters I write towards my fellow Marines or experiences, whether it be bar fights, dates with the girls, experiences in any which way, shape, or form. Because the first thing about writing is you write what you know.
Exactly.
And so, absolutely everything, my character backgrounds, everything is all about my experiences.
Yeah. I mean, you guys both write, so I mean.
Yeah. You gotta live by that. You gotta write what you know. I was telling you earlier about the short films I wrote. I tried to write them for like, I thought because it was a cool idea, or tried to write it because I thought it was something to get me out of my comfort zone, which was great. But like, not until the film that I'm writing now did I feel like I'm actually writing something good. You know?
Yeah.
Because you always have to stick with either what you know, or a story that you know that you can tell.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, like, I don't know. I think that's really important in writing because why would anyone want to hear a story that everybody else knows?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't.
Exactly.
You don't.
Yeah. And that's the biggest thing about writing is trying to find that story.
Yeah.
Because everything's been done multiple times, so trying to find something new to tell, or a different way to tell a story. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I incorporate a lot of things that from military, because I know fucking people haven't heard those stories.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone will be like, oh, well, this happened, something like this. Yeah, of course, everything happens like that, But, that's why it's great to use your personal stories just because they're personal to you, not to everybody else.
And that makes me think of, like, what we were talking about earlier about how people don't know what real life fucking trauma and shit like that is, like being in a city, whatever, worst thing is Starbucks, not having the coffee you want, whatever, because, like, we don't know unless it's like a first-hand account. Like, we can see the movies, but like having you tell a story about being in the military or whatever is way more like much more of an impact. Because we wouldn't know. I had no idea.
Yeah, like I have no interest in trying to be in the military at all.
Yeah.
So, like it does not tip my fancy at all. Like, I'm good.
Is there like something that you call civilians that you like? I feel like once you've earned that rank, you might want to like feel like you could pick on. It's like
it's
we
not
pick
that
on,
like we don't we never really picked on anybody because it's like our job is we're there defending these people.
Sure.
So.